Next up is Extraction 2, finally announced, and there's no surprise here because Extraction is the most watched Netflix film ever. And obviously, Chris Hemsworth will be back, and we know that he was not dead at the end of the first movie. They kind of teased that he was back in a blurry background thing, but we know that, action star like Chris Hemsworth is not going to die off in one movie, right? So, especially when, even if he died at the end, they would have resurrected him somehow because it became the most watched Netflix film of all time. So they will have to make a sequel, right? So, no surprise here. Did you like the first movie?
Story wise, I thought it was
Yeah,
okay. Action wise, I thought it was brilliant.
same.
The action it's worth watching for the action alone. Chris Hemsworth as always was badass. He was pretty cool. There's a scene kind of it's a while since I've watched it, but it's kind of in this like shanty town. Like there's buildings kind of really close
Yeah,
together, and like he fights these bad guys or these soldiers, and the camera movement there was fantastic.
yeah.
It was one shot sequence, maybe at all, and yeah, he was just it was cool, and yeah, like even he said it at TUDUM. He said that the fans are the reason why a sequel is being made because they like the film, they like the characters so much that they're the reason the sequel's happening.
Yeah.
Like if this movie didn't do well, we wouldn't get a sequel to it because Netflix would be like, "What's the point?" But it did do well, and Chris Hemsworth's a huge star, and he's cool. And people said they don't like the yellow kind of
Yeah.
color look to the film. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
I
So
usually don't like it, but here I do because I think it
yeah,
it gives the movie a signature look, and I think that it worked here. And to your point of the action in the movie, I completely agree with you. I think I'm not an action movie guy. I don't watch action movies just because they're action movies. I kind of lean more into sci-fi and storytelling and all that. So action movies, just a guy shooting his ways, with bad guys. That's not my thing. But here it's done so differently and so unique in such a unique way. The way it's shot and technically was just awesome. So stuff like this definitely impresses me, and I just loved that part of it. And the story was meh, and it was all right. It was not bad. So yeah, it's doable. But for the action alone, I think this is very, very much it comes under the unique action film category, like John Wick. Like,
yeah,
I mean, not saying that the action is
like
similar, but a John Wick movie has a different style of action, right? So the same is here.
yeah, like I don't know what's going on with Netflix because they make amazing shows, but their
Yeah,
movies are very hit and miss. Like I don't know who's the creative. I'm guessing the creative division head is different for the movies and shows because they're so
yeah,
different. I just don't understand it. Maybe they need to merge them together. The same people are over both sectors, or maybe they need to get somebody new for the movies. But the movies just seem like off at times. Like Sweet Girl with Jason Momoa, huge missed opportunity. By right, that probably should have been on the level of Extraction, like in terms of viewership, because of Jason Momoa of who he is. The movie was just poor, and Extraction was a movie that was okay, but the action was brilliant. I thought the marketing, the trailer, all that kind of stuff, the look of it's very, it stands
yeah.
out. A movie like Sweet Girl didn't stand out whatsoever. So, yeah, some of their movies are amazing. Like Fatherhood with Kevin Hart was a pretty good one. But then you have another movie like Sweet Girl. You have another movie like, I can't think of one on the top of my head, but there's like so many of them that
Most of
just
their
are
films are
not
not of
worth
the quality.
watching.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the show was Midnight
yeah,
Mass. You've got clickbait. You've got um these shows are really interesting. The production value are brilliant, but then the movies are a little bit different. But yeah, Extraction 2, I'll watch it. The Russo brothers are back as producers for it, so like they have huge names.
yeah.
Like if you say the directors of the Avenger movies, like that's going to bring people to that. Chris Hemsworth's in it as well,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's smart. It's smart by
The
Netflix.
director of this movie is actually the stunt coordinator who turned into a director for this movie. He actually stunt coordinated for a lot of the Marvel movies, especially the Captain America scenes in the Russo brothers movies. So there's a lot of Marvel connection there. So they can definitely market it a lot.
Makes sense as well, and it's cool that we know. that the action is amazing with Marvel, but like it kind of gets
Yeah.
painted over with CGI and with like that kind of
Winter
stuff.
Soldier had a
Here,
lot of great action scenes.
oh, it
Yeah.
did, yeah, but like here, it's not
Yes.
superheroes, so there's not going to be massive like CGI
Yeah.
suits, so the action really stands out. And yeah, I would definitely have Extraction, the John Wick productions, Atomic
I
Blonde,
still have to
those
see
kind of
Atomic Blonde.
productions. Yeah, that's really good. There's a really cool sequence with a balcony and Charlize Theron, and she uses the guy's neck
Yeah.
as leverage to go
He's
down and
awesome.
then fight these cops on the ground. Like it's just brilliant. So like those for me, I know in Asia the action has been like that for a long time. The one shot kind of
Hmm.
sequences, the kind of karate, jiu-jitsu, all that kind of stuff is martial arts. Those kind of movies are brilliant. But like here we wouldn't be exposed to them as much unless you go and actually find those movies and watch them. But when it's brought over to the American culture, like I think, like I was just rewatching the Matrix movies, and I was surprised because now when I'm watching action movies, I look to see if they're one shots, action sequences, or how many. I count how many times the camera cuts during a fight sequence, and if it cuts too many times, it turns me off.
Yeah.
And we get to Red Notice,
Yeah.
which has terrible.